business owners have potholes in their client journey that kills conversations, crushes retention, and they don't even freaking realize it. And I'm sure I have some as well. Let me ask you something. How many clients are slipping through the cracks in your business right now without you even realizing it? You're doing the marketing, you're delivering the work, but the growth feels stuck. That's exactly what I see all the time, and not just in my industry. I've helped a service provider scale from 300K to over $1 million. I've helped a beauty salon owner replicate her client experiences across locations, different businesses, different audiences, different marketing, same issue. They didn't need a niche specific coach. They needed someone who could zoom out, look at the business, not just a specific product, and plug the leaks in their client journey. Because here's the reality. Most business owners have potholes in their client journey that kills conversations, crushes retention, and they don't even freaking realize it. And I'm sure I have some as well. I'm Deirdre Martin, triple certified award-winning international best-selling author. I help coaches, consultants, and service providers hit their first 100K or their first million without burning out, so they build a business that supports their freedom, not eating it alive. In this episode, I'm breaking down the 4 phases of a profitable client journey, where most business owners are bleeding revenue, and how to fix yours in under 30 minutes. Let's get into it. Okay, first off, scaling isn't about doing more, it's actually about fixing what's broken. And I think one of the biggest lies we've been sold is that growth equals doing a shit ton more funnels, getting more followers, getting more leads, more. But in reality, scaling is actually about simplifying and fixing what's already broken and then improving what you already have. Let me tell you about a client I worked with early on when I started my business. She owned a thriving beauty salon, absolute 5-star Google review queen. Her original salon ran like clockwork. Clients loved it. I mean, bookings were solid. But when she opened her second salon, things slipped. They weren't quite 5-star reviews, and she just couldn't figure out why. But she was really struggling because she knew she couldn't clone herself. She'd no way of replicating the experience that made Salon A such a good hit. Enter customer journey mapping. So together we mapped out every single step in the Salon A, from first click to post-treatment follow-up. We identified where the magic was happening in her first salon and systemized it for her team at the second location. So instead of her trying to be everywhere, she built a client experience that did the work for her. That's the power of mapping. It's not about fixing what's failing, it's about replicating what works. A huge advantage of this then as well is that once she was able to, I showed her how to bring her team in so her team could help her build out the experience. So it didn't need to be the exact replica of what she had in Salon A, because maybe the parking outside was a bit different, and so the customer's journey was ever so slightly different. But getting her team involved in building it meant that they were on board with delivering it. So don't assume your client experience is obvious. Even if it's working, write it out, walk through it. If you have people who are on your team, get them involved. Find what's repeatable and make it replicable or as close as possible to what fantastic looks like. Now, if you're stuck with this, I've got a customer journey map template that you can download at www.deirdremartin.ie/journey-map. And this is exactly what that tool is for. So here's the second thing in terms of your business, where I see a lot of clients are a little bit stuck, or where they might go wrong without realizing it, is that they treat their customer journey like it's a straight line, but it's not. There tends to be 4 phases from behind the scenes that you take a client through, whereas on the client side, there's as many as 11 phases that a client goes through. But for today, we're talking about the phases that you take your clients through, and each one has the power to either scale you or sink you. And the first phase is awareness. And that is, do the right people even know that you exist? The second phase is conversion, and that means, is it easy? Is your offer easy for people to say yes to? The third phase is delivery. Are you creating fast wins and repeat-worthy results for your clients? And the fourth is retention and referral. Are you turning one client into two? So the salon owner's awareness was great. Her brand was known locally, but delivery at the second location, it was inconsistent because no one had defined what a great experience actually meant in that salon. But once we broke it down step by step, what to say, when to follow up, how to welcome new clients, how to ask for reviews, everything clicked for her and her team. Retention went up, the 5-star reviews were rolling in, and they weren't bad before. They were 3 or 4 stars, but they weren't consistently 5, but they became consistently 5. The pressure on her dropped dramatically, and the fear of ruin and reputation damage was gone. And then there's another client, a client who's a service provider in a totally different industry to mine. I mean, I'd never even engaged with anybody in this industry. But that didn't matter. We mapped out his journey, found the bottlenecks, built scalable systems, and he went from 300 grand to over 1 million in a year, or a little over a year. And different industries, same solution. So here's a tip I want you to take away, is that every phase in your client journey is an opportunity for you to optimize it, but you can only optimize it if you can see it. If you want to go deeper into this, go and listen to episode 100. Episode 100, I had the amazing Ian Golding come on the show. He's like the OG of customer experience, and he talks about how to successfully apply the find, win, keep strategy. I promise you, listen to the episode, it will blow your mind. Another listener actually sent me a DM recently and said that she has gone off to study customer experience after listening to that episode. I promise you, it's definitely worth the listen. Okay, so here's point number 3. And point number 3 is that you don't need more leads. You might have heard me say that earlier, but I'm saying it again and in more detail. You don't need more leads, you need more leverage. And here's a real reason why, is that it tends to be the case that most entrepreneurs don't have a lead problem. The problem is a leverage problem. They get the leads, but the follow-up is messy. So they're not converting them. So people become aware, they enter into the inquiry stage, but at the conversion stage, they're not converting. So the other thing that happens is that they close clients, but the onboarding is clunky, or they deliver results, but they're not asking for referrals. Does this sound familiar to you? So common. And you're not alone. If it is familiar to you, you're just maybe leaking. Doesn't sound pretty or pleasant, but it's a reality. So that beauty salon owner, she wasn't lacking traffic. She was leaking in her delivery. My other client in another industry wasn't short on leads, but he was losing conversions because there was no system to track or follow up. So it tends to be the case. Most people that I meet, when we look at their customer journey, they're already doing 80% of the work, but the final 20%, the structure, the follow-up, the systems, that's where the scale happens. And they say it's the 20%, that's where the real magic is, that's where the growth and all of the good things are. And if you're ready to really keep clients obsessed with your brand, go and listen to episode 75, Client Love, how to keep them coming back with irresistible offers. There's pure gold for the retention phase in there. Point number 4, visual mapping is your superpower. So this is the final piece of the jigsaw. You have a client journey, even if you've never documented it, and maybe it only lives in your head, but if it does, you'll never be able to optimize it or scale it or delegate it. But visual mapping changes everything. With both of those clients, we laid it out on a whiteboard, on a wall, on a template. We saw the drop-offs, the friction points, the bottlenecks, the missed opportunities. It also helped us calculate the cost to acquire a client because we were able to determine the labor costs that went in and break things down like that for one of the clients who had more people on their team. And the moment they saw it, it clicked, just that visualization of it. There's no right or wrong way to map out a customer journey. As Ian Golding says, it's just about doing it in the first place. So you can use the customer journey map template and checklist that I have shared with you. Go to www.deirdremartin.ie/journey-map to get yours. I'll also share the link in the show notes, but it literally is about mapping the whole experience from the first click to the final invoice, and then how to get more of those invoices coming through so you increase your customer lifetime value. But it's then looking at how can you circle the trouble spots to identify where you can improve. And that one exercise could unlock your next 6 figures. If today's episode is hitting hard, make sure you go and check out that episode 100 with Ian Golding. It ties beautifully into everything we've just covered. And episode 75, where I break down how to keep those clients coming back with those irresistible offers and retention strategies. Both will deepen what I've talked to you about today. And if you're ready to plug the leaks, go ahead and download that customer journey map template and checklist. It's the exact tool I've used with salon owners, service providers, consultants, and coaches to double, triple, even quadruple their revenue. It's simple, it's visual, it works. So go and grab your copy. Right, let's wrap this up. Your client journey is either scaling you or silently sinking you. Mapping it gives you clarity, confidence, and control, and it works across industries because at the end of the day, strategy is strategy. So here's what I want you to do. Download the customer journey map template, block 30 minutes this week, find one leak and fix it. That's it. Small moves, big results. If this episode gave you clarity, do me a favor, share it with a friend, leave a review, or follow the show wherever you're listening today. And remember, you don't need to do more. You really don't. You just need to do what you're already doing, but better. So go plug the leaks, and until next time, keep mastering your business.